So today I'm out on a walk. It's absolutely gorgeous day and wanted to enjoy this afternoon a little bit. I want to talk to you a little bit about really the key components to selling your home for the most money possible. So whether you're a for sale by owner, maybe you're selling your home yourself, or maybe you're thinking about selling your home, you want to know what can you do to make sure that you're getting the absolute best possible price for your home. There really are some key components, like some key decisions, some key things that you can do to absolutely make that home sell for the best possible price. And I want to give you that information. I'm here to help. My name is John Paulson, Homes and Land by John. I help people all the time with real estate decisions, real estate marketing, and we help people get the best price for their home, sell it in the fastest time possible with the least amount of hassles. But if you want to sell your home yourself, there's ways to do it. And you know, one of the key things is to make, first off, get the home ready and make it show really, really well. So that's kind of the first thing you got to think about is what is it about your home that maybe is keeping it from showing completely perfectly and completely well. Maybe you've got some deferred maintenance that needs to happen on that home. In order to get the top dollar price for your home, you're going to want to have it looking really, really good. And you got to think about it as if you are a date for the prom. If you're looking to get a date for the prom and you want to market yourself, it's the best analogy I can think of right now. You're going to make yourself really look attractive. You want your date, you want your house to look really, really attractive so that it looks really good at the prom. And maybe the prom's not the right analogy, but that's the ultimate thing that you want to do. You want your home to be very appealing, and that means potentially making the needed repairs that it has. So I get asked the question a lot, what kind of things do I need to do? If I get some minor repairs that need to be done on my home, can I just market the home as is and get the price? And typically, yes, you can, and it somewhat depends on what your resources are that you have available. But if you do that and you've got some things that are particularly eyesores and are very noticeable, then you can count on your buyer is going to notice that as soon as they walk in the door, and they're going to discount it right away. So it can be very hurtful to your bottom line price to actually do that. It can even deter and scare away a lot of buyers potentially. So recently I actually had to put a roof on a house for a seller who couldn't afford to do that. We were going to market that. She wanted to market her home. We wanted to market that home for sale, and there was just no way that she could afford to actually pay to have that roof put on. The roof investment was $5,500. So we were able to make a coordinated effort really to have that roof replaced for her, and got the home under contract. $20,000, probably more than what she would have been able to sell it for. Putting the roof on the house didn't change the market value. It actually allowed the home to sell for market value. So if you got some repairs that need to be done on your home, you may want to think about that. It may not increase the market value to actually do it, but it will allow the home to sell for market value if you do make those repairs. If you don't, you'll have to discount. You may have to discount the home, or the buyers are going to discount the home potentially. Even in today's market, yes, today's market is extraordinarily strong, and I hope this wind is not too overwhelming on the microphone, but even in today's market, you want to have your home looking really, really good so that you can sell it for the best possible price. The other thing is make it easy to show. So make your home look really good, make it easy to show, and that means coordinating. How are you going to get it? How are you going to make it available? Are you going to take your time every day? Are you going to make yourself available at all hours of the day? Or are you going to put a key with a lockbox in your lockbox so that people can come and look at the home when you're not there? For most sellers, that's a very uncomfortable situation to have. Real estate agents, that's what we're there to do. We actually have systems in place that prevent people that are just coming in off the street from looking at your home. You have a licensed real estate agent who is always there showing your property. Now keep in mind, most of your buyers are going to be working with a real estate agent. If they come to your home and you're for sale by owner, and you're wanting to sell the home yourself, and they contact you directly, in some cases they'll work directly with you, but in most cases they're gonna that scared me. in most cases, they're going to need someone to help them navigate the contract process, to help them write up the contract, and even just to be able to get them the courage to actually make the offer, they may need a real estate agent to do that. A lot of buyers can make the contact, but are uncertain how to proceed. So that's another reason why most buyers who are legitimate, serious buyers will be working with a real estate agent when it comes time to actually buy the home. So if you're a for sale by owner, keep that in mind. You're going to want to make sure that the home is easy to show, and that means making yourself available to show it at the buyer's convenience. And that's tricky. That is not an easy thing to do. I don't, just giving you that little information to help you navigate that prospect. Because if you eliminate a buyer simply because you're not available to show that home, then there's a good chance that they may not come back. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity. Again, that's that fear of missing out. Fear of making a mistake. A fear of missing out is a mistake in many cases. So, the next thing is marketing. Getting your marketing right. Get your marketing right on your home. And so if you're a for sale by owner, it's more than just putting a sign in your yard. Yes, you want to put a sign in your yard, let people know that it's for sale. But the things I recommend that you do: direct market campaign through your entire neighborhood. You should also let all of your neighbors know directly that your home is for sale. Let them know that they can bring people that they know who maybe love the neighborhood. Who else loves the neighborhood more than your neighbors? So they may know people that want to be in that neighborhood. Contact all of your neighbors. You can do direct mail. You can do EDDM if you like, to actually send out to your entire area on that postal route. There's postal campaigns that you can use. There's software that you can use to pull entire neighborhood addresses and send directly to those neighborhoods, to your neighbors, so that you can send information saying that your home is available for sale. Do that. Make sure that it goes on all of the websites. Don't just do Zillow. Certainly do the ones that you were comfortable with. Also, when it comes to pricing, use more than one resource for getting the right price on your home. Zillow and Zestimate is not necessarily going to give you an accurate price. In fact, I had a recent mastermind I was on with real estate mentors in a program that was talking about home pricing and pricing estimates that are available online and so forth. And there was a agent who wrote a contract for his buyer on a home at $1.2 million. And that is what the seller was wanting to get for that home. And maybe that was all he wanted, that's fine. But the appraisal came in. Appraisal is going to be based on comparables. And the appraisal came in at $1.6 million. So that seller, who thought he was getting a good deal, lost out on $400,000 because he simply had trusted an automated valuation method. Wherever that came from, I don't necessarily know, but that was a rather big loss, I would think, for that particular seller. And that seller was not working with an agent, so he didn't have all the information necessarily. But that buyer did. That buyer had an agent. That buyer's agent knew that this was a deal for that buyer, so it worked out really good in their favor. So just know what you have in terms of pricing. Put your best research into that. Make sure you've got the good information to help you arrive at the proper price for your home and what it is that you're going to be selling. And there's a lot more to marketing your home than just getting it on websites. You need to target your marketing. You need to target your marketing to the buyers that are going to be the right types of buyers for you. So Exact Data, all kinds of websites that are out there, Info USA. Pull your data sets. Look for those buyers that are in the right price, that are in the right income range for you, for the home that you have, for the neighborhood that you have, and target those buyers with the marketing that you're doing. There's thousands of websites. So when you're working with a real estate agent, your real estate agent knows what these websites are. And even if we don't know what they are necessarily, we don't know all the websites, because there's the information that we use puts them out there to these websites by default. In some cases we have to seek them out and actually push them out there. So but a lot of it goes out directly through our MLS. And unless you're listed in the MLS, you don't have access to these websites. So posting on Zillow does not do that. It puts you on Zillow, that's great. You're gonna get contacted by a lot of real estate agents. And you'll get some calls from buyers potentially, but you don't know if those buyers are qualified. So how are you gonna qualify your buyers? That's the next thing, is also make sure that you can qualify your buyers. So if you have a home that you're trying to sell, you wanna make sure that you have vetted and qualified your buyers so that you're not wasting your time by filtering through buyers that just can't afford your home. And that's gonna happen a lot, unfortunately, because you don't have any other way to filter them. You don't know when they're contacting you to buy that home. You have no idea if they're qualified to buy that home. You wanna show the home to them, which is great, but now you're taking your time out of your schedule to meet this buyer that may or may not show up. Can't tell you how many times we've seen sellers that have that happen, and I'm sorry, it just happens. But you know, but you need to vet that buyer so you can put them in contact with your mortgage broker. Certainly, if you get that contact from that buyer, I would absolutely encourage you, have them contact your mortgage broker. You should have a mortgage broker that you're working with so that you can, you know, put them in contact directly with that mortgage broker to give them a pre-qualification, run their numbers, you know, make sure that they can qualify for the home that you have to sell. And that's just a smart thing to do. You know, also make sure that you have all the other things lined up. You're gonna have to have all your paperwork lined up. You gotta have your disclosures. Virginia, for instance, has several disclosures that are absolutely required by law. So make sure you got your required disclosures ready to hand to the buyer as soon as they're ready to make an offer. Make sure that you're ready to do your inspections. In fact, you can do some of your inspections up front. It's a good idea to actually do a pre-sale home inspection so that you know what's wrong with your house, so you know what's going to show up when the buyer does an inspection. If you do your home inspection up front, you can get the list of repairs that are needed. Remember what I was talking about, making sure the home looks great when you start the process? That's a great way to actually know exactly what needs to be done to fix the home. And you know, keep in mind, all homes are sold as is. Hear that a lot. We got to sell my home, selling my home as is, selling my home as is. All homes are sold as is. However, the home inspection process is that though we see it kind of waived at certain times now in the home buying process, it's a natural part of the process, and the buyer has a right to be able to know what they're buying, and a seller does not have a right to conceal anything that's wrong. A material defect has to be disclosed by law, has to be disclosed. So again, that's back to the required disclosure forms. When you sign those forms, you're attesting to that you don't have any knowledge of a material defect that you're not disclosing. And a buyer has a right to do their investigation of the property and so forth. So these are just some of the tips that I have that I wanted to share with you, and I hope that you'll take them into consideration if you're thinking about selling your own home. It can be done. It's really, you know, people do it all the time. And if you have any other questions, click the Learn More button. Feel free to message me. My number is 757-707-4664. John Polson, Homes and Land by Homes and Land by John, Mid-Atlantic Residential. Glad to help you any way I can. Talk about any real estate questions that you may have, solve any real estate problems that you may have, and help you. So, hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon.